Hi everyone, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm Rizzo.
I'm Zero.
And I'm DK.
And this is Otaku Saga Talks, where we talk.
This time with a guest.
Ooh, goody. I wonder who it could be.
This time we are joined by Cartnike from Cartnike Reacts.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Cartnike, and I have a YouTube channel and I'll do live reactions as well. So, and
We'll put a link in the description below.
Go check him out. He's awesome.
thanks guys. And yeah, Otaku Saga asked if I wanted to join them, and obviously I'm here.
Sweet.
So yeah, today we're going to be talking about our spring 2017 first impressions.
Air quotes and everything.
Biggest of air quotes because this took forever.
It's more like 1.5 impressions, you know, taking the Square Enix Kingdom Hearts approach.
Something like that. But first...
Oh!
Yes. The promised drawing for the Asuna figurine.
Yeah, quick question. How many subscribers are we at now? We promised this at when we hit 4,000.
We did.
We're now at 4,350.
We did plan on releasing it during our first Otaku Saga Talks.
Yeah, that's very true. And this so happens to be the first one.
I have all of your names written on a piece of paper, and
so we're gonna throw these into a hat. And...
I will just throw them in the air.
What?
What?
Pick one out of the air.
Okay.
Was that not fair enough?
Fair enough, but
I think it's fair. What do you think, Cartnike?
Yeah, I can try as well and see if I can catch anything.
that'd be a hell of a reach.
All right, here you go.
And the winner is...
The winner is... Are you kidding me?
Cartnike.
Really? Is that his name?
Overbearing Enthusiast.
Hey!
Congratulations, hamster.
You are now the proud owner of one of the cutest Asuna figurines on the market. After she almost got her ass impaled by Mikasa's sword.
So yeah, we'll get that to you. Or we'll get in touch with you and
Get in touch with you, hash out the shipping details and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And Bunny and Asuna will be on your way.
But yes, so let's go ahead and roll into our
First impressions.
impressions.
Oh boy!
So yeah, first we're gonna do the first impressions of the anime that we're watching in common with Cartnike. And then after we get through with all the stuff that we have in common, then we'll go ahead and do the ones that we have.
Right.
I think we'll go alphabetical order, right?
Alphabetical order. Yeah, I think that works.
I think that works.
Yeah.
So,
Alice to Zuroko.
Badass grandpa.
Oh,
Badass
yeah,
grandpa.
Yeah.
Old man goals for sure.
So we just watched up to what was it? Episode
3.
3? No, 4.
yeah, we watched episode 4.
Yeah, we just watched episode 4.
Oh yeah.
Which came out. It came out a couple of days ago for us.
With all the episode zeros, like, is it 3 or
Did
4?
you watch episode 4?
Yeah. I'm up to speed.
All right.
So we'll go ahead and talk up to episode 4 then,
Okay.
because episode 4 was awesome.
Oh my god.
I'll bet he's lecturing her right now, saying, "I can quicker stuff." And lo and behold, he totally was.
So first off, Cartnike, going into this anime, what were you expecting?
Honestly, not much, because I honestly don't even remember if I read anything about it on the synopsis, summary list. But I was really surprised. I really liked the first episode, especially. It was really, really good. Or how strict the old man is with the girls.
I'm sorry. Our internet kind of chopped out a little bit. Could you repeat what you just said?
No worries. I said I enjoyed the show, the first episode. I really like how strict the old man was with the girls. It was really funny, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Master of the Professor Snape head grab.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just find it interesting how almost nonchalant Zuroko is about everything.
Yeah, I mean, girls with supernatural powers coming through, messing shit up, and he's like, "You could have gotten someone killed. Stay off my lawn." just so at ease about it. I'm so intrigued by his backstory. What the hell has he gone through to make this seem normal to him?
And to have friends in high places, and then in the most recent episode, just brush off giant fucking arms.
Yeah, that was just that was awesome.
You see, kids, this is what happens when you don't skip leg day.
But yeah, so I kind of feel like it's a mix between, for me anyway, it feels like a mix between like a Flying Witch, which of course was made by the same company,
and you can tell by the little
I think the same director too. Kind of feels like a mix between that and like Goku Koku no Brynhilder or Brynhilder in the Darkness, or something like that. Basically, another series that has a secret, secret government agency that's producing superhuman girls, and one of them escapes, and they're trying to regain control of them.
But at least Oroku isn't the kind of old man who would say, "Shut up and let me look at your armpits."
Oh god, the worst line ever.
Maximum cringe.
Maximum cringe. But yeah, Alice Says Oroku is definitely one of the ones I really look forward to every week.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Yeah, I could agree. It's definitely one of our best series this season in terms of quality.
As long as you ignore the 3D animation.
The cars.
The 3D animation is really bad.
Yeah, particularly the cars. Well, why? Did they get the same guys who did the original Initial D anime?
Kind of looks that way.
Got anything else? Got any words of your own you'd like to add?
Not really, to be honest. I like it, but it's not one of my top 5, but still, I like it, obviously.
Alright. Cool.
Fair enough.
Moving on then.
But yeah, we will keep going on with that one.
Yes,
We'll
we will
definitely
continue
keep
on
keeping
it.
going.
Next one,
Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Season 2. I feel as though I'm kind of tainted on this one because I do read the manga.
Okay.
Mr. Spoiler. Dun, dun, dun. Should totally make a song for you. Make it sound like Mr. Crowley.
Yeah. I love it because it is basically like Bones is doing such a good job animating what was in the manga. Like it's perfect, a perfect adaptation.
Okay, so not just in animation style, but in story pacing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
For me, it's continuation of Boku no Hero. That's what it says on the tin.
And what's in that tin was pretty damn awesome.
Well, yeah,
when
pretty
we watched
much.
it last year.
I think that because it doesn't have that much of a impact on me. Like the original one kind of impacted me because it was fun and it was something new. This is just continues on with that, but
Okay,
it's not as new.
So the novelty's worn off a bit.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Okay, well, you can expect that with sequels. I feel like the story has kind of settled down. Maybe a little novelty is kind of worn off, and it's getting more into a Shonen Jump style of a story arc with the sports festival and all. But I do love the direction they're going and trying to give development to characters we didn't touch up on at all in the first season. Todoroki is going to be a huge one in this arc in particular, so I'm told. But
Mr. Daddy Issues himself.
Well, when your dad has an awesome fire beard, like what was his name, Endeavor?
Endeavor.
Like Endeavor does, you're always going to feel inferior somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, very much a lot of fun still, and it's really fun seeing Deku find ways to come out on top. And yeah, very much look forward to it every week.
Yeah.
Cartnike,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on it?
I remember I didn't really enjoy the first season until like episode 6 or 7, like when the villains attacked, that little arc. That's when I really got into the show. I'm like, shit, because they really hyped it up. They showed the other characters a bit more. And that's what got me hyped into the second season. And so far, I'm not disappointed. I really enjoy it. They do a really good job into hyping the characters. And And my favorite one is probably Kaminari, the electric dude. He's pretty funny. And it seems like they're going into like a classic stadium fight arc, like many fighting animes have, But I don't mind, obviously. Fighting is usually always pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be like the like Naruto's Chunin exams, except not a couple hundred episodes long.
Yeah. Or Hunter x Hunter had a similar arc.
Yeah.
Well, it's that world tournament game, that world tournament feel.
Like I said, very typical of Shonen Jump stories.
Dragon Ball Z has it.
But, yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Maybe Bleach. I don't remember if Bleach had it.
I don't think so.
I don't remember a tournament, but I also only got like a quarter of the way through the series.
Yeah, closest thing to that I could imagine would be the Soul Society arc, where they have to fight off the individual Shinigami.
But that's not exactly.
It's not the same.
But
whatever.
But yeah, so far, very good. Bones is doing an excellent job with that one.
Yeah, I really like it. Top 3 for me so far.
I don't know if it makes my top 5 actually. There's just so much good anime.
Yeah.
A blessing and a curse. This season is pretty loaded.
Yep.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, in
This Shoujo Machiavellianism.
Oh.
yep, in alphabetical order, it's Machiavellism.
I was just looking at the green ones.
I think we only watched 2 episodes of that so far.
So far, yeah.
So, I did like the second episode a lot better than the first, and I do have to admit that the actual story is a lot better than what the synopsis said.
The synopsis, made it seem absolutely horrid.
I want your thoughts before I tune in.
Yeah.
I don't do. I did actually watch all the episodes. It's the one with the guy that. The first episode, I thought that he had to cross-dress because all the guys cross-dress in that school, right? So I was like, "Fuck! If they do that, I'm not gonna watch a show." To be honest.
Our thoughts exactly.
But luckily, he didn't, and he seems to be like a badass, or whatever you want to call it, and
sort of anti-authority figure.
Yeah. It seems like a classic. He beats the girl, and then the girl, joins him, in his little team or whatever.
Defeat means friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
Friendship again?
And the first character he fights, the girl with the mask, she reminds me of an Arankar from Bleach. Like a certain one. I don't know if you guys remember which one I'm talking about.
Grimjo?
No, it was a female.
No,
It was a girl.
There's a female with hair kind of somewhere, actually.
She didn't like Orihime at the start, but then she changed her mind. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about.
Like Orihime.
Yeah. Like she really hated her.
It's been so long.
It's been so long. But I can recognize that. I know what character you're talking about in my head. Like I can see the character, but I can't remember the damn name.
I can only think of 2, Uliclora and the really long and lanky one with the mole teeth. I forgot its name. But yeah, it's been so long since it's approaching 10 years now since I watched Bleach.
Off topic.
Yeah.
Reel it back in, guys.
Yeah, she reminds me of that girl.
When I first saw her, I got reminded of the main character from the first Utawa Rerumono series. Because in that series, the main character had a mask that he couldn't remove.
Huh.
And it was shaped almost exactly like it.
That's true.
But yeah, episode 2, they're really pushing for Rin, for Onigawara, to make a really hard Sunda return. And I mean really hard. It seems almost abrupt, but I don't know. It slightly raises my opinion of the series, I think. Slightly.
I don't know. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult situation for me because I'm not a fan of the premise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not. I'm not a fan of the premise. I'm not a fan of the world that they built. Literally, the only thing I like about this series so far is the main character.
If not for the main character being as badass as he is, I would have dropped this series like a bad habit after reading the synopsis.
Which we almost did.
Which we are,
Same here.
It's too.
But I do think that at least episode 2 makes the world a little bit more chewy.
More tolerable.
More tolerable. You know, I can get something else out of dude beats girl.
That's it. Dude beats girl.
But that's like that's just when you boil it down, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Boy beats girl.
Defeat means friendship.
But yeah,
at least.
Basically, I'm still not 100% sold on this series. If I had to place it in my rankings, it's down near the bottom of the stuff that we're watching now.
Yeah.
For me too.
Same here.
Yeah, same here, to be honest.
So, moving along, we have
Aramanga Sensei.
Aramanga Sensei.
Oh.
Aramanga Sensei.
Okay. One that definitely I think got better this week.
Yeah. Now, Cartnike actually hasn't watched the most recent episode of it, so let's try not to spoil anything.
Okay.
But this is another one that I already read the source material for.
Of course.
But I read the source material before it got greenlighted for an anime.
No.
And I only read the source material because it was from the same author as Ori Imo. And despite how it ended, I actually did like that series for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. I like the anime for the most part until the ending.
Yeah, so for me, the anime is good. They definitely played up the cutesy female characters. And A1 does a really good job of making them absolutely adorable.
I love dicks.
Oh God.
All middle school girls love
Megumin.
dicks.
You can just call me Megumin.
Hell no.
There's only one Megumin.
There's only one Megumin. And she would make her explode! That's right. Rub the brand, bruh.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh God. But yeah, they do a really good job of playing up the cutesy female characters. The books aren't necessarily like that so much. But then the books also are told from the point of view of Masamune, so you get his internal thoughts, which you don't get in the anime.
So you trade Moe Blob for a little deeper story, I imagine, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, though, I do like it. It is very amusing, and it really follows the story very well.
Okay.
Like, it hasn't deviated at all.
That's good, actually, yeah. Because normally if you expect a sort of difference in the feel, the more, internal thoughts of Masamune that you get in the novel, to this more focus on the moe aspect of the female characters, you think there would be a drop-off in quality of adaptation, but if you say that there isn't, then good on A1 to kind of rebalance it out.
I like Cartnike.
Yeah,
I
I was just about to say, I don't really have that much to say about this show. It's not really a favorite for me, personally. It has some fun jokes, but I don't really have that much of opinion of this show, so...
Okay.
It's definitely not groundbreaking.
Not at all, but it's decent. It's decent. I'd say middle tier.
It's
series.
exactly what I would expect from a follow-up series from the author of Ori Imo.
Yeah, Lolimoto, Bako and Nichan.
Unfortunately, for me, it's on the low tier for me. I'm not really a fan. I'm enjoying the series. Like, I can enjoy the series for what it is, but I have a hard time disconnecting certain aspects of the series to my own personal life.
It's the quasi incest.
Yes.
Even though they're not actually related. It still hits a little close to home.
Too close to home.
Airing out that dirty laundry.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And so's the anime.
Right?
Oh.
Wow.
scrolled through like half of the anime.
All the way down the R's.
All the way down to the R's. Wow, quite the jump. And we'll start off with Recreators.
Hype.
Oh my god.
We'll let you go ahead and start this one off.
Yeah, you feel the
Cartnike.
hype.
Recreators, you said, right?
Yep.
I like it so far. The one thing that stood out the most for me was the art style, or the animation, or whatever you call it. I really liked it. I liked the... which episode was the latest one now? Was it episode 4 or 3?
3, I think.
Alright, then it was episode 2, and the guy at the end showed up. The bad guy, or whatever he...
Oh yeah, from the totally not Persona.
Exactly. He seems pretty interesting. But yeah, I don't really have that much more to say about that show, to be honest. It's only been 3 episodes, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I do like the art style, the animation, it's really going on a technical front. But just the premise. We've all been talking over the last, couple of months, actually, about how much we would like a reverse isekai series.
Yeah, it's actually very funny because about the same time that we started seeing a flood of isekai light novels, we were talking ourselves about wanting a reverse isekai where they come into our world.
And boom.
Almost as if they were reading our fucking minds. This thing shows up, and
at first, though, we weren't even thinking about watching it because we couldn't find any real information about it. We almost skipped out
this. It is an original series, after all.
Yeah, but we would have skipped out on the series if we didn't see episode 1.
When you read the synopsis, that we have here,
it's cryptic and poetic.
It's cryptic and poetic, and doesn't really tell you jack shit.
However, the first episode was freaking amazing.
And it definitely...
it was good.
It definitely established the story pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I also like how they're, packing information really tight in each episode. Or at least it seems like that. I don't have a moment to, I guess, decompress everything from the previous scene. So it just in your face the majority of the time.
Well, it presents a lot of information, but it does it in a way that doesn't make it unbearable, like say in basically any 5PB mystery supernatural anime. Steins Gate.
Yeah.
What's that one we were watching? Occultic 9.
Yeah.
That's just a bombardment.
I feel that Recreators is doing a really good job of showing rather than telling when it comes to presenting information like that.
One unfortunate aspect of that, though, it pretty much puts Meteora, who's one of my favorite characters, pretty much only in the role of misexposition. So, slight downside, but great technical aspects, awesome premise. I think it makes up for it.
And I think I might have gotten it just a little wrong when I said, in your face. It's more like, here's the information. Nice, big, right here.
It doesn't dump it on you. It's it's a gentle but constant push.
Yeah.
So it's like being on a lazy river, not standing under a waterfall.
But we get very short, cool-down breathers, where we get, the most recent episode where Stella meets the... Or not
Celestia.
Celestia.
The other hot warrior, Princess Redhead.
Yes. Where Celestia and the illustrator.
Her creator?
Yeah.
The illustrator for her light.
Yeah.
Right.
The little decompression right there, where it's just her kind of chilling out. And,
You get those moments.
Yeah.
In between all that.
Just those very, very short little moments.
But then it gets back to them trying to add a power to her character description.
It's not. It's never standing still. It's always moving, and that's why I think is
At some
great.
sort of pace.
Yep.
But the pace you can keep up with, so that's, yeah.
But as I've said in all of our discussions, I could probably go on and on and on about this series.
Yes, you could, so we'll have to duct tape his mouth shut for the rest of that series anyway.
But yeah, so as far as me ranking it, it's definitely up there. I haven't actually laid out my top 5 yet, and I'll probably lay out a top 5 before we record our stuff. But it's probably going to take one of those spots. It is really good.
Upper tier for me, definitely.
Next up on alphabetical order with you, we got Renai Boku.
Ah, they totally not Death Note.
Oh,
Well, they actually say it like right out in the first episode.
And I
Wait,
love
not
it
a
for
Death Note?
yeah.
Since we're totally ripping it off.
But yeah, totally a comedy parody series.
Madcap comedy with the most capital of M's. Because, yeah, this shit is batshit crazy.
Yeah. That's not.
That's pretty much my first impression for it. It's insane.
And also, Ayane is best Yandere. Or Akane.
Akane is best Yandere. The fact that the main guy can just be like, "Hey, chill."
Okay. Or the fact that, oh, you're
Yuki would
hurt.
never
Who
do
hurt you? That is a death sentence.
Though it also helps that they're both immortals, so whenever she gets pissed off, she can just stab him and nothing happens.
Well, he feels it, but he doesn't die. Naturally.
I don't know. For me, this series is just there.
Yeah.
Well, again, yeah.
It's funny. It's nice.
I do find
Comedy.
it funny. It's, it's amusing to watch, but like for instance, after this weekend, we had a crap load of stuff to watch. We actually still haven't gotten around to the most recent episode of Renai Boku
To episode 3.
because it's just not that high on my priorities list.
Yeah.
We know it's a madcap comedy. We know that it's funny. We don't expect it to change a whole heck of a lot, so we're not as in a hurry to watch it. I don't think.
What about you, Cartnike?
Some subscribers recommended the show to me, and they compared it a lot to Konosuba, which I disagree with. To be honest, I don't think it's really too different.
I disagree. A lot.
I
I'm gonna have to
disagree.
disagree as well.
It's
Konosuba's much better written.
Yeah,
a much better situational
it's two
comedy.
completely different shows for me. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's not bad. It's fun. I really like the girl, as you guys said. She's fucking hilarious. It's pretty much the best thing about that show. But yeah, other than that, it's not really that on. It's not really top priority for me either, to be honest.
It's the other two girls, Akane or Akano.
Akane, the Yandere.
Yeah, the Yandere. She and the main character sell this series for me. The other two girls pissed me the fuck off.
So
Guri really irritates me.
Which is, yeah. Actually, we're speaking of comparing this to Konosuba, who's more useless, Guri or Aqua? I think Guri is.
I'd have to agree.
That's tough.
At least Aqua ultimately proves her worth at the end of season 2. Slight spoiler.
God below.
God blow.
Phrasing. Yeah, I
Nature's beauty.
don't like Guri.
Yeah, I don't like Guri. And then I don't like the blonde girl because I'm not really a big fan of the whole Yuri angle.
No, she's so much of an extra character. She really doesn't matter in the story, I don't think.
Yeah.
Just the cause of those awkward Yuri situations.
Yeah, chasing after Akane.
So yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say about that one.
Same.
Still enjoyable enough though, so
It's
it's a series we'll get around to when we get around to it, I think.
It's very much like Machiavellism and I know that there's a couple other ones that we haven't talked about here, but At least Machiavellianism is kind of low on the docket.
Yeah, there's like a good 5 or 6 of them that we're watching this season that I kind of feel are all in the same vein, where I'm like, when we're backed up, it's like, that's not high on my priorities list.
It's not necessarily do we have to, because I do enjoy the series. It's more of, I would rather watch this.
Yeah, I would rather watch these 8 other things.
Yeah, speaking of one of those things, Rakutanishi, Majitsu, Koshi...
Well, you tried. Rokunanashi Majitsu Koshi to Akashic Records.
That one.
That one.
I actually rather enjoy this one, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoyed...
Surprisingly, actually.
I enjoyed episode 2 and 3 a lot.
Right.
Episode 1, I really did not enjoy.
Same here.
Like, when we watched it, it was one of the ones that I was going to vote to drop.
Yeah, they make Glenn too much of a big bastard in episode 1. I mean, I sort of like those stories where you sort of have this guy who tries to like understate himself, I guess. But I don't know. It just felt a little forced in episode 1, and then that feeling was reinforced with his total turnaround into just this badass, sort of anti-hero character, which I do like, but the turnaround itself was a little.
It really turned around for me. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that and let Cartnike go through his first impressions.
Yeah, as you guys said, I wasn't really that sold at all from the first episode, especially that ending when he got his ass kicked. And I was like, yeah, I'm not enjoying this. But after the second and the third one, it's easily top 3 for me, to be honest. I really, really enjoy this. After you guys watched the third episode, right? It felt like a season finale.
Yeah, we should be caught up on that one.
Yeah, So, as far as the third episode's ending goes, I almost immediately pointed it out, I think, when the ending song was playing, but I was like, this is based off a light novel. I guarantee that was the end of the first light novel, and according to our subscribers in our Discord chat, that is correct. Okay. It was the ending of the first light novel.
That explains.
Okay.
So that's why it felt like a season finale. That's probably the one big hiccup that I have for the series right now is that I think they're going to try to push too many of the novels into the series.
Too much content too fast.
Yeah. And so, like, later, like, even now, they skipped over a bunch of technical stuff that apparently was really awesome in the book. But I think later, they're probably going to, like, the compression's probably going to be a little bit too much, so the later episodes might start sucking.
I find it interesting that they skipped some technical aspects because, like,
especially early on,
the turnaround point for me was the explanation of magic.
Yeah,
and how magic actually works.
That's true.
As a language, almost.
That was pretty cool.
Glenn just turning around and be like, "Bitch, please."
Yeah, that
you think you've mastered this? Oh, wait.
Let me put it this way. You're a Pichu, I'm a Mega Raichu.
And I'm going to write you right now.
Nice.
But yeah, that's basically the only thing that I'm really worried about there is if it tries to compress too much in later novels.
Well, we know damn well it'll never be half as bad as Vanadis was.
Did you ever watch an anime called Madan to Oto Vanadis?
Marksman and the Vanadis.
Lord Marksman and the Vanadis.
Yeah, it's the Archer that did it.
Yeah. That one, they adapted like 8 novels into 12 episodes.
Holy shit. I like that show, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a big fan of the Lord Marksman and the Vanadis novel series, but the anime sucked so bad because it was like you were getting a climax every episode and a half.
Okay.
And you could just tell that they were skipping over stuff, and it was just hard to understand. I feel that that 2 novels, adapting 2 novels per anime season, per 12 to 13 episodes, is perfect. But adapting 3 is fine as well. And I think here they're going to adapt 4, which is a little bit too quick for me.
I can only hope that they like reel back on that just a little bit for the, going into the rest of it. I can only hope that there's more character development because I want to know more about everybody else. And
you mean his class?
They do also have a
his class, his teacher friend,
teacher/mentor,
the one who he was staying with for the longest time.
The hottie,
blonde, big tits,
big tits.
Tits McGee.
And then I wanted to see more dynamics with the rest of his class, because right now it's basically just Sistina and the princess chick. I forgot her name.
Don't remember.
And what an impression she's made.
The other blonde one?
Yeah.
The other blonde one.
The other Princess Pinch.
Oh yeah, she was a princess.
But you only get those 2 characters so far. I mean, you haven't spoken with almost anybody.
Have you guys watched the latest episode?
That came out today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
We haven't
I'm not
yet.
gonna spoil it.
So we'll probably watch it after this.
Yeah, because we just got off of work before we started this, so. So Akashic Records definitely turned it around for me. I don't know if it'll make my top 5, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll make. I think it might make my top 5, maybe at 5 or 4. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know it's one of our most popular reaction series this season so far, and almost by far. We average at least between 1,000, 1,200 views in like the first 24, 48 hours. So people love this series on our channel.
Yep. So, moving along.
Moving along. Our first Shingeki no anime.
Hey!
Bahamut, Virgin Soul.
Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul.
Fuck yes.
The sequel series to Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis.
All I can say is, Mappa, just keep doing it. Keep it. Keep
fucking
keep it up.
Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis was the anime that made me actually start paying attention to Mappa and actually looking for their anime because it was so damn good. And honestly, we watched 3 episodes of it so far. There's only been one bit of animation that I was like, hang on.
A little wonky.
And that was in the newest episode, and that was like the bird horse thing that pulls Bacchus's carriage. And it was in the background, and it was only on screen for like a split second. Other than that, this is almost like movie style animation, movie quality animation.
One of our Discord chatters put it really nicely. It doesn't deviate. It's always consistent. It stays the same almost no matter what.
The animation quality.
Animation quality.
Okay.
And the art style just plays so well to it.
Well, I mean, I remember when you were heavily into playing Shingeki no Bahamut in the game as a game. I saw all the artwork and how intricate it was, and you actually get that same feel. Like, say, I used to read like a clam manga, and then I'd see like a clam anime, like Card Captors or X or whatnot back in the day, and you sort of lost, I guess, some of the charm and feel. You don't get that lost at all. You feel like you're looking at the cards being animated.
Yeah, in fact, for me, it adds to it because here's a card that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, that you recognize or that you probably used, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like,
and here it is moving around and having a voice and having a nice story to it.
So the show is a sequel, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sequel series, so I wouldn't consider it a season 2 because I feel that you could watch it without watching the original.
Okay. Because I don't think I watched the original, to be honest.
Yeah. When you get the chance, you should really watch it. It's Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis. It's really good, and you would get a lot of Because a lot of the characters that we're dealing with in this, other than like Nina, are characters from the original. I think Nina, Charios, the king, and Azazel's little helper, the holy boy.
Those are the only original characters from this.
Yeah.
But yeah, every other character that gets significant screen time was in the original, was in the Genesis.
So I imagine for you in the newest episode, episode 3, I think that the reveal that Nina's teacher was Favaro probably didn't have very much impact for you.
I don't really. I was just.
But Favaro's the main character in the original series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's definitely a scoundrel, so it makes sense that he would give her a fake wristband. So.
But yeah, you get to learn more about like the bounty hunters and stuff like that in the first season, or the first
series.
First series, yeah.
First series.
Because it is like Genesis and Virgin Soul, 2 different things, same world, 10 years apart.
Is it 10 years removed and a totally different main character to focus on?
Yeah. So, like we said, you can totally follow its own original storyline in Virgin Soul, and you don't have to watch Genesis. But
you still won't regret it if you did that.
Yeah. I think you'll have more enjoyment if you watch Genesis, but that's not going to take away from what Virgin Soul is.
Yeah, like before we reacted to the first episode of Virgin Soul, we did a binge watch of Genesis, and I actually think that helped make the first episode of Genesis even more enjoyable, which wasn't really hard to do because goddamn Nina.
Yeah.
Nina is an excellent main character.
Well, actually, this whole world is just excellent.
Yeah,
it's one of the best.
It's really well written, considering that the the original game that it's based off of is a card game with basically no story. So yeah, whoever wrote the story just did a magnificent job.
Whoever wrote the story knows fantasy.
Yeah,
they just know fantasy in and out, and they know how to write good fantasy.
Yeah, this one it's really easy for me to place. Honestly, it's my #1 series that we're watching this season.
I still have a hard choice between 3 of them.
It's definitely up there though. Top 5 for sure.
I have a tough choice between 3 series.
It's not
one of them.
It's not often that all of us are hyped for a series week in and week out. Shingeki no Bahamut is one of those. So, yeah. Alrighty, on to the next one.
Shingeki no Kyojin.
Shingeki no Kyojin Season 2. This is another one that I read some of the manga for. Fortunately, we haven't watched the most recent episode yet. We're going to be watching that one today, for sure. But we're catching up to where both Zero and I got to in the manga, because we both read some of the manga in 2013 when the first season came out.
Oh god, it was that long ago?
Yes.
Feel old yet?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I imagine that we both caught up to where the manga was at that point, and then we forgot to read it again.
Yeah, and let me put it this way. When I read the manga, I still remember, despite it being 5 years ago. Like, I didn't go back and... It was
you didn't need a refresher.
I didn't need a refresher. It was that impactful. And at that point, I was like, I'm going to put this aside, because if the anime comes out, that's just ruined.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was like, too. I was like, well, I know this is getting a second season. I don't know when,
not to.
But I know that it is. So I should probably put this aside for now.
Yeah, then shortly after that, it became an international, what we call a gateway series. It introduced a lot of, fans outside Japan to anime, period.
Well, yeah, even non-anime fans know Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
So, But so far, like, I know a lot of people who probably didn't read the manga complained that this season wasn't really as good as the first season. Like, the first few episodes weren't really as good. But honestly, I felt that they were fine.
I think those people are mainly just there for the battles, honestly, and very little else. Like, they don't really want to, get into the story, the origin of the Titans, the politics, of what goes on behind the walls and with the wall cult and all that. They just want to see, totally not Spider-Man kill some giant creatures made of meat.
Go ahead, chime in whenever you want, man.
I was just about to say, it was so long ago I watched season 1, so I've pretty much forgotten most of the stuff they mentioned, like that the Titans can't move during the night. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I can't remember if it actually said it in season 1, but I remember in the manga they talked about how the Titans, I believe it was a conversation between Armin and Hanji. They were talking about how the Titans don't actually require to eat humans. They just do it.
Okay.
Huh.
Which is why they throw, there was a part after the Battle of Tross where you see like a giant glob of humans that were thrown up because they can't digest them.
Huh.
So
that's true. They don't actually require to eat humans. Like that's not what they require to live. They just do it. What they actually, basically, they feed like plants. They're photosynthetic.
Okay.
So that's why they can't move at night, because they don't have any energy.
Alright. What do you guys think of that running animation on that Titan?
Which one?
When it did like a little jump first and then sprinted like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Again, it's like, which one?
They're really,
they're
really, really good at being creative with the Titans. I do have to admit.
You can just imagine, the mangaka and the animators both. They just had fun designing these Titans. They, probably told like, okay, make them as grotesque as possible.
Like that one that has the wedge head.
Yeah, the ones that look like a fleshy nose piss.
Yeah.
From Pokemon.
Looks like a Moai statue.
Yeah.
From Easter Island. But yeah, they definitely do a good job with making the Titans unique.
It's part of the charm, I think.
I heard that. I don't know if this is true, but I don't know if it was episode 3 or when Potato Girl, when she was fighting that Titan, when she helped out. Apparently, people say that she was supposed to die there in the manga, but someone convinced someone not to let her die, and they rewrote that scene or something like that. I don't know if it's true. But that's what some subscriber told me.
She didn't die there in the manga, at least in the official release version. Maybe there was a version of it that the author wrote and then decided to revise.
Let's say, I'm pretty sure the author. I heard the author made a lot of revisions. Wasn't the original ending supposed to actually have the world end overrun by Titans?
I don't know.
But yeah, it got scrapped before he got published, or something like that.
And I haven't been really adding my own thoughts to this one. It's the same vein as Boku no Hero.
Nice continuation.
It's good, but it's just a continuation.
It's Attack on Titan. It's exactly what it was in the 10.
Yeah.
I knew what to expect, and it keeps going with that, and it's lost its charm.
I'm definitely not as hyped for it as I was for the first season.
And the new elements they do introduce, like the Beast Titan and certain plot twists involving the Titans, it doesn't generate.
I might get more hype for it after it passes the stuff that I've already read.
Okay.
And I do think that this lends well to why I'm gonna get tons of hate for this.
What else is new?
I think that this lends well to why SAO is so popular, especially in Japan, because after each season, something new happens. It's a new game. It's a new story. It's a new focus.
Well, you also have to remember both the series that we talked about are based off of manga, whereas SAO is based off of light novels. So SAO, let the light novels come out for that arc. The arc's over. The author probably takes 6 months or a year to decide on what the next thing is. Whereas these long-running manga series, they're coming out every week.
And this just it just rolls right in with what comes next. It just keeps rolling.
Well, yeah,
doesn't really gain anything new. Doesn't really lose anything. It just keeps rolling.
Yep. I can pretty much agree with that.
And yeah, because the charm's lost, it's not necessarily really high on my docket. It's not top 5, somewhere in the middle. It's still fantastic animation, still fun.
Yeah, you two keep saying lost the novelty and all that. Probably because you're caught up with the manga, you know what's coming. And,
that might be it too.
That might be it too. My outside, I'm kind of the outside perspective here. I've seen a good chunk of the first season, and have a gist of the story in between where I stopped watching the anime and where we are now, more or less. And it just, I don't know. I still also stand by the opinion that the new stuff they added, like I said, doesn't generate quite the hype that was there when I first heard of the series, period. Because, it's just a tough act to follow.
I think also with Attack on Titan, the shock value has definitely worn off as well.
That's true. Yeah, people getting eaten, now it's old hat.
Well, I know a lot of the reasons why it became such an international success with even non-anime watchers is because they're like, oh, hey, it's a cartoon. Oh my god.
That woman just got bit in half.
Yeah. It was one of the first deaths that we see in the series. Like, I think it was the woman getting crushed by the piece of the door that the Colossal Titan kicked in.
Sploosh.
Yeah, just sploosh and just nothing but a bloody smear left. I think that really had a lot to do with it.
So let this be a lesson. Anime is not for kids.
Not always. Not always.
A good load of it is. Attack on Titan, definitely not.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we talked about.
I think we talked it to death.
Shingeki no Kyojin enough.
Nope.
Agreed.
Let's see. Oh, another favorite.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and read off the title.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Oh.
So Shumatsu nani shitemasu ka? Isogashi desu ka? Sukute morate ii desu ka? Or suka suka.
Suka suka.
Suka suka.
Suka suka.
Weaponized lolly.
We actually weren't originally going to watch this one either.
Same here.
It's because of our subscribers.
Yeah, our subscribers were like, no, the light novels are fucking amazing.
Watch it. We want you to suffer
Okay,
more.
Jesus.
That's actually exactly what they were saying.
Yeah.
We want you to suffer more.
Well, we're suffering. You happy now, bitches?
Suffer for our amusement.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But yeah, no, I was
This is good.
Yep.
yeah, very, very pleasantly surprised.
And bracing, it makes you brace for feels.
Oh god.
Because it's not going to end well.
Yep.
Oh, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
So I have to ready my most evil laugh when it doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, weaponized lolly, that's pretty fucked.
Take away, Cartnike.
Yeah, I like the premise.
What do you
I
got?
mean, from what I understand, the humans are extinct, right? And he's like the only
Just
one
about.
left or something. Have you guys seen the latest? No, it was today. I haven't seen it.
No, not yet.
But I like the interaction between the main character and the Choli, whatever her name is. I just hope we have like a somewhat happy ending at least. That's. I'm really hoping for at least not too.
I'm not hopeful. Like I'm
hold
not
my breath.
expecting it.
No.
Especially with that Meteor Res beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it just waved a death flag for me.
I've seen the intro of it.
Very
I think
early.
they even forebode some things that would happen.
Yeah. Well, seeing as the translation of the title is something like, what would you do at the world's end? The end of the world.
Are you busy? Would you save me?
Yeah. So, the end of the world. Doesn't seem to be a very cheerful affair.
Unfortunately. Although,
Yeah, Lolly gonna die by the score.
Yeah, there's going to be some lolly death.
Well, I mean, it doesn't break the rules of Lolly, though. You don't loot the Lolly, and you don't shoot the Lolly. Oh, never mind.
Well,
Sorry,
why
it
not
was
do
kind of
that?
an in-joke from our latest episode of Alice Chizoroku.
Don't shoot the lolly.
Don't loot the Lolly, don't shoot the Lolly.
But yeah, so it's one of my favorites. One of my favorites that we're watching this
Same here.
season.
It's upper tier for me. Don't know if it's one of my top 5. I do love the world, fantasy, kind of floating island world it's in.
Oh, I really love the world.
Ever since I saw Laputa Castle in the Sky for the first time, I've kind of liked those worlds a bit. So like that, Grand Blue Fantasy, actually. Kind of along the same vein there.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of the biggest surprises. This, Recreators,
That could be its own separate
and
list, like biggest
Virgin
surprises of
Soul.
the season.
I can't decide which one I love more. I honestly cannot. Hot girls, big giant swords. One of them is Ludi.
Nice set.
I'm sad. I mean,
There you go.
it's a lot of fun, and that's all it really counts in the end.
I really like the music, especially that song they had in the first episode.
The cover
Yeah.
of
Scarborough Fair.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Garfunkel and what was his name made a cover. of
Simon and
Yeah.
It's a traditional English. Sorry.
Technically, it's not their
No,
song.
no,
Technically,
exactly.
they covered it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone knows the song because of Simon and Garfunkel,
yeah.
and they also knocked it out of the park here. So. But yeah, that was absolutely glorious, and I have to get my hands on that single when it comes out.
Anything more we want to add to this?
Not really.
Trying to think of more because I don't necessarily want to talk about the next anime.
Oh.
Because the next one is Sin, Nanatsu no Taizai.
Hey, I thought this wasn't a hentai channel.
So yeah, just leveling with
When I'm here,
everybody.
it's a hentai channel.
We only watched the first episode.
This was the first insta drop of the season.
Yeah,
Just-
I was just not interested in it at all.
It didn't break the record. It didn't break Hatsukoi Monster's record for the fastest drop in Otaku Saga history. We actually made it through the episode.
Which
And
is
boy,
amazing.
was it a fucking struggle.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts, Cartnike?
yeah. Go ahead, because you're probably a little bit more positive about the series than we are.
I don't know. I mean, at first I thought it was like a sequel to the Seven Deadly Sins.
That's what I
Because
originally
of the
I
thought.
was
title.
too.
like super psyched, but then we got some.
Well, actually, yeah, it's the same title in Japanese. Natsu no Taizai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's just with the word sin in front of it.
But sadly, it was not. So yeah, I've only watched the first episode.
Definitely not.
I've only watched the first episode. I haven't watched anything else, and I doubt I will, to be honest. I guess it might be like a guilty pleasure thingy. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be when we first watched it, but yeah, even the fan service wasn't really doing it. I think
There's a
they
right way to do
better.
fan service and there's a wrong way. They went way too over the top
Yeah.
with the fan service in that one.
This is more of the Ange Verge
I don't-
and Aiken school of
When
fan
we watched
service.
it, we watched the what do you call it?
Censored version?
Censored version. I don't know if you guys have seen the uncensored version, but I did watch it.
Is it pretty much hentai?
Yeah, so you know that shot where that one girl gets like thrown back towards the camera
And you
and it
just see her.
zooms straight in on her crotch and it's covered up?
Yeah.
She's not wearing underwear. She's wearing like a pasty. They went too over the top with it.
One
all I'm
stiff
saying.
breeze away from being a hentai.
Yeah, pretty much.
One of the girls licked another's tits
Right.
at some point down in the
Damn,
first episode.
right there. Just because reasons.
It's just like, I like fan service, but it has to be done at least somewhat tastefully.
Yeah.
I like hentai, but it has to have, it has to be done somewhat tastefully.
Yeah, and I just really feel that Sen Nanatsu no Taizai really did not. And then on top of that, I was absolutely, utterly uninterested in the story.
Too much plot. That's all that this is. Too much plot.
Yeah.
Too much plot.
Never thought I'd say
So.
too much fun.
Yeah, just bad.
Yeah, so that one, yeah, definite no go for me. It is my least favorite thing that we have watched this season.
Yep, and I am happy to say we dropped it like a bad habit.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna continue watching it there.
No, I don't think so. To be honest, I completely forgot about the show. To be honest, until now when I was writing my list.
There you go.
And what an
Impression it's made.
But going from plot to something on the complete opposite side,
How to do fan service right?
Sword Oratoria.
How to do fan service
So
right.
yeah, Danmachi Gaiden Sword Oratoria. So yeah, spinoff of Danmachi.
Okay.
Which we
It's
absolutely
basically exactly what I expected.
Oh, hey, Rizzo, we're talking Sword Oratoria. You have to do your little pose here.
Oh yes, because we have an ice figure in it.
Cartnike. What are your thoughts first?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really that impressed. I mean, I would really love the original. I can't really say the first season because this is not a sequel. So far, I'm not really that into it. It makes me more like I want to watch more of the original team with Bell and Hestia and all those the original characters.
Are you a Hestia fan?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I really like that elf girl. I don't know if you guys remember her.
I like
Ryu?
the elf girl.
She was like a maid.
Yeah, Ryu.
Oh yeah, Ryu.
Yeah, I think so.
Ryu
I
was
really
awesome.
liked- she was pretty much my favorite.
I liked her too, but I did really like Eyes.
Yeah, she's
I know I've seen a lot of people say that she's really boring, but I just feel that she's really subtle as a character. Like her emotions and everything are just really subtle, and I feel that that's well written.
Well, you know the saying, still waters run deep.
Yeah.
That's Eyes in a nutshell.
As far as this series goes, I'm actually not as impressed as I was hoping that I would be. And it reminds me, between this and Danmachi, reminds me of another couple of series that JC Staff did, which was the Toaru series. Certain Magical Index and a certain Scientific Railgun. Because those were really similar to me, where I liked Index. I actually ended up liking Railgun a little bit more, like Zero did. But I liked the two series for different reasons.
I can say something similar to that as well. I liked the original Danmachi mainly because of its fantasy world and how it worked. Not necessarily because of the characters really portrayed. Not exactly the biggest fan of Belle. And if you say you like Hestia in this room, you done fucked up. Because
Yeah,
she is a clingy,
none of us
manipulative
three.
bitch.
Yeah, none of us three liked Hestia.
Yeah, I don't like her personality really. But I did want more backstory on the other characters, on Hephaestus, on some of the other gods, and especially about the Loki Familia. And we're starting to get that, I think. More so with the latest episode. I think that I don't know what was up with the first episode of Sword Oratoria, but it's starting to come around to what I expected.
I think that episode 1 was just showing off the basics of, like, the baseline of where the team is starting off this series. Just the baseline, because you got to see everybody's powers, you got to see everybody's abilities, everybody's
Failings.
personalities.
their hang-ups and all that.
I really don't like what's her name?
Lefia?
Yeah, Lefia. I now assume basically main character of the story, because it's not focusing on eyes as much as I.
That's a huge hang-up I have with it. I really don't like her,
but as I've stated before many times on our show, and I've actually stated in this podcast, I don't like the Yuri, I guess, story device. So there's literally nothing for me to like about her character at this moment.
I don't like her character being there because if you're going to make a story or a whole spin-off series that focuses on eyes, mainly on eyes, maybe some of the members of the Vulcan family that we're familiar with, but mainly on eyes, just focus on eyes. You don't have to write a character in to focus on another character.
That's the problem I have with it. It's an extra character that we didn't see in the first series.
Apparently, she was sitting in the background of some of the scenes.
Was she?
Yeah. According to some of our subscribers, she was actually there, but I didn't see her.
Me neither.
Still,
I don't remember her.
Her presence is not needed at all in this story.
Yeah, I like, especially with like the second episode. I just feel like I'm far more interested in Aiza's issues between moving from level 5 to level 6.
Getting that last heroic feat.
Yeah.
And then, I guess they'll say the frustrations she has, when Beat's talking shit about Belle and her attempts to,
I did really like that scene,
though.
To him. How it showed the different perspective of that particular scene.
Right.
Because in the original, we see from Belle's point of view, and he starts getting upset, and then he runs. In this one, we see Aiza's point of view, and even though she's not like visibly upset, you see, below the table where she's starting to, make fists.
Which is something that you didn't see in the first series.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole scene, another background event, I talked about it when we discussed the episode. But Loki, at the bar, waving the elf over.
The dwarf.
The dwarf. The other fantastical race straight out of Tolkien. All right. But yeah, waving the dwarf over. And for what? For what? It wasn't waving. She wasn't calling him over to like stop Beat from being a drunken asshole. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe causing distraction that allowed Belle to escape the bar. Some reason. It was weird. They wouldn't show that for nothing.
It also looked like she was gesturing over in Belle's direction.
Yeah. So.
Who knows what Loki was doing? She is the trickster god, after all.
Yeah. I wonder if it has any future implications for the Danmachi story as a whole.
Yeah, I'm actually, that's one of the big things I'm wondering is how much does Sword Oratoria actually have to do with Danmachi?
I'd figure a fair bit because it runs parallel with the original story. So.
And because the entire idea is to get... The entire idea on the first series was to get Belle with eyes. It's just going the longest way possible to do that.
Well, of course.
because
nothing in life worth having is easy.
Publishers gotta have story. Can't do everything the easy way.
Can't make it a one-hit wonder. Can't write it in one novel. Gotta milk that cash cow.
But my main thing though for Sword Oratoria is I hope that it leads into a second season for the original.
Oh my god!
Same here.
It needs to.
Because I've just recently started to get past the point in the books where the anime ends. And it's really fucking good.
Nice.
Mr. Spoiler!
Hey, I can't help it. And hey, on this one, I actually did support the author because I actually did go physically buy the paperbacks.
Ah.
So.
I didn't like Belle either in the beginning of the show, as you said, but I really enjoyed his journey, to become, he became pretty powerful. Especially the final fight at the end of the first season, the first season, when they faced against that giant, whatever it was called. I don't know what it was. Demon, maybe.
The thing on the safety floor.
Yeah, exactly. When everyone got to showcase their skills, and I'm guessing that's what this spin-off is gonna lead lead to, I'm guessing. Like the final episode, when there will be that fight. I don't know.
That's actually interesting that you were like, yeah, I didn't really, you didn't like
No,
Belle?
not at the start.
I didn't
No.
I didn't particularly care for Belle at the start either.
It's very interesting.
I wouldn't say that I hated him. Like I don't feel the hate. I don't feel the hate for Belle that I feel for Hestia. But I really hate Hestia, and I'm so salty that like all the fan art is of Hestia.
That is
And
really
my air, like that little bit with Arari in Psychono a little while ago, where she's like, "Oh my god, the main character," and they were talking about the childhood friend.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'll put that. I'll point to that when I say, yeah, I can really see a lot of myself in Belle. That's about how I felt. So I'm just crazy like that. Anyway.
As far as Sword Art Oratoria goes, right now, like preseason for me, it was actually one of my tops.
Because
right now, it's
Dom
probably
actually
like
has
upper
it.
middle. Yeah, upper middle, I would say for me.
hasn't particularly blown us away in the way that recreators or Shigeki no
It definitely hasn't blown me away. It's mildly disappointed me, but that's because I had such high expectations for it.
Yeah, I think it's also really a totally different style of story. It's not based on the adventure. It's based on the slice of life.
Yeah, it's slice of life in the Danmachi world.
Well, okay. Let's end the conversation on this series with a positive. Eyes in the Hestia trash bag outfit.
Oh god, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Absolutely not.
I totally used that for the thumbnail for our episode too.
Nice. Good job.
Good job.
Omega, nice job.
Alright, so next up we had Sugumomo. I think Sugumomo for us is one that we're probably going to end up dropping. Not because it's necessarily bad, but because it's not really anything special.
Not to us, at least.
Yeah.
And not to this season.
Not to the season.
It just really reminds me of anime from the mid-2000s.
Yeah, I mean, you have a supernatural power, a young boy with a supernatural partner with a supernatural power. Kind of like, let's see, Ushio Totoro would be one.
It did really remind me of Ushio Totoro.
Well, yeah, I mean, possess artifact and everything, too.
Yeah.
It's just that this one is a kind of hot, snarky tsundere.
Yeah, it just feels like it's, boy gets his power, and then they're just going to ramp up into kind of a monster of the week type thing.
Yeah, monster of the week or a little mini story arc or two-parter episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
So, not really expecting anything special from this one. Then again, I didn't really expect anything special from it to begin with. So,
That's pretty much exactly my...
I think Sugumomo is Japanese for man.
What do you think?
It's fun because I actually had to Google it just right now to see which show it was, because when I'm checking my notes here, the only thing I wrote was, watched it, didn't really enjoy it, would probably drop.
And what an impression it's made.
Okay, now I know. Yeah.
The only thing that really impresses me in the show is what's her name, Kiriha? Kiriha's voice actress, because she did Satania and Gabriel Dropout last season, and she's using basically that same voice, and I just love that voice.
It makes her seem like a demonic moron.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, and it's just so perfect. That's literally the only thing that I really like about the show. Everything else is like, eh.
Yeah, those sort of moments between
Been there.
Kira and our boy here.
Been there, done that.
Done that.
Pretty much. And like I did say that it reminded me of something from the mid-2000s, and it's probably that way because that's when the manga was written. Originally, it is kind of a older manga series. So, It was probably just following the trends back then.
Fair enough.
Again, just like Cartnike said, watched it, didn't really like it, consider dropping.
Yeah, we got enough good stuff to watch this season. So
since we started out watching 28 series this season.
Damn.
It was one of those that it's like, do we really want to continue this, or do we want to open up a little bit of free time for ourselves?
Yeah, I get that.
But speaking about things that are miles above that series, our last one of the day with Cartnike, Zero Kara Hajimeru Maho no Sho.
The Grimoire of Zero.
The Grimoire of Zero.
I must say this.
I love that show.
Holy
Zero
shit.
is adorable.
Yeah.
Best fucking lolly ever. Even though I don't think she's really lolly, but
Yeah.
well, in appearance.
Yeah. Just remember that lolly is appearance, not age.
Right.
She is a legal lolly.
I want to hear Cartnike praise Zero.
Of course you would.
So yeah, our big funny thing during our discussions is the fact that, you know, the main female character is named Zero, and then of course we have Zero here.
So we have all our viewers like, oh my god, Zero's so cute. Zero's hot. I want Zero to sleep with me and all that.
I want a Zero body pillow.
Yeah, we totally are gonna make a supercut of all those moments.
Yeah, at the end of the series.
Yeah.
Should add to those moments, Cartnike.
Yeah. But I like this show, as you guys said. I'm really interested about in the world. It seems really interesting. People doesn't seem to like these beast. Are they called beast fallen creatures? Or I don't remember.
Yeah, beast fallen.
Yeah, beast fallen.
And I really like the look of the main character, like a white tigerish. Like, I also like the interaction between him and Zero.
Yeah, that's sort of odd couple
I don't know how I feel about the boy yet. One that tried to kill him.
You watched the most recent episode, right?
The one that came out yesterday?
Yeah, I did. When she was sleeping on top of it then there, right? I think.
Yeah.
Again. But what I was going to say was Zero just coming out. Oh, we're his sex slaves.
Without missing a beat, without any hesitation or a moment of thought, really. Just that's our go-to alibi.
Well, and then even worse, Albus following it up with, yeah, we're his slaves. He uses us. What was it? He uses us even at night.
We assist him at night.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Bruh.
When I apparently face-palmed myself so hard when bringing that part up in the discussion, I knocked myself dizzy.
Yeah, the smack was quite audible.
Yeah.
But you gotta admit, you gotta praise Albus for being able to play along with a joke.
Right.
Because goddamn.
Yeah, as far as Albus goes, I don't really like him that much, but he's one of those characters that's supposed to be there to be the
Male lolly.
well, no. Yes, but no. Especially since the mercenary tried to buy him a skirt.
Gay!
But no, he's there to be, I guess, the brakes on the like you know how there's the part where they wake up and Zero's laying on top of the mercenary.
Yeah.
And he gets up and he's like, "Oh, that's indecent. Oh no, stop."
Right.
Break characters like that are why I don't like Hestia.
That's true.
Yeah, good point. Actually.
Okay.
But yeah, usually I do find it interesting that they made that character a dude, because usually that character is female.
Definitely, it definitely helps the dynamic though. It improves its. If it were just two lollies traveling with our mercenary, two female lollies. Yeah, you could easily have her character kind of deviate and want him, and just have the Zero and I don't know what would be a female name for Albus if that were the case, but squabble over our mercenary here. I don't know.
Yeah, if we had that dynamic, it'd be much more boring.
It'd seem a bit forced, I think, if that were the case. It seems a little more natural as it is.
But I am definitely this is one of the series that I look forward to every single week.
It definitely makes my Mondays better.
Top 5, possibly top.
Top 5 for sure. Top 3 probably.
Top 5. Definitely.
Could be my number 1 if I give it enough thought. I don't know. Again, there are a lot of good ones this season.
I don't know. We let you talk a little bit. Did we let you talk a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it too.
I wasn't sure.
It's good.
Say your face because we can ramble on.
Yeah.
I know we can ramble.
And don't be afraid to cut us off if you have a sudden train of thought either.
Well, now that we're at the end of the podcast.
I know, just for future reference.
But I think that the only other thing is I would like a little bit more description on how the magic works, like we did in Akashic Records. We kind of get a basic info about how it works. We don't get a great sense of like mana and...
Yeah, it's like the difference between summoning and spellcasting.
And incantation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope they go over that. But if they're going along this sort of like traveling, you know, epic journey kind of theme, Spice and Wolf style kind of anime, then they might not get to it. Magic might just remain a background element. Which
if that's the case, I don't mind, just as long as it doesn't get brought up all that often.
I don't mind the setup, but for an anime titled after a magical artifact that could bring about the end of the world, and therefore I imagine plays a big part in the story, I'd like them to explain the magic a little bit more. You know, you could have called it the journey of Zero if you're going to just keep the dynamic as is.
Well, what I mean by like the you know, not having it so prevalent. And Akashic Records, they are fighting, or they're dealing with magic every day on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, it's a magical school.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it's on the tin there. Zero, yeah, that it's in the name that the grimoire is there, but from what we've seen so far, they have sparingly used magic, and it's just because how the world is built. You know, mages have to kind of hide a little bit.
Okay.
Witches gotta kind of hide. So magic's not gonna be the in-your-face magic, but when it's used.
Ah, okay. So when it's used, it's going to be important.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Either that or it's going to be used to shave somebody.
So, like Wolf Playboy there. That was humiliating.
Chilling.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the anime that we have in common with Cartnike.
Yeah.
So I think we have
a number of other ones.
Yeah.
I think my biggest surprise was Suka Suka this season so far. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
I think the biggest surprise for me, probably Recreators, because we didn't receive jack squat in the way of information beforehand.
My biggest surprise would probably be Akashic Records, because when we were talking about it preseason, I just assumed that it was another irregular Magic High School type series, and those have been done to death and back.
Yeah, ever since the beginning of our
We
channel.
talked about it in the first podcast.
Yeah, I talked about it in the first podcast where I was like, you know, they've already gone to the bottom of the barrel with those series. This is probably the shit that came out.
And it totally isn't.
And it totally isn't. It's very good.
So how many series was that, Zero?
We got 7, 8 more.
Yeah. So.
But going on with what we're talking about, to kind of, my biggest surprise from this is Recreators. Just because I had no idea what was going on going in, and miles blown away.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect, and it turns out it was the reverse isekai series we've been hoping for all along. So, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's not necessarily a reverse isekai per se. Not exactly, but it does kind of have that feel.
Okay.
Now, what I really want for reverse isekai is reverse isekai of some isekai series, like a spinoff or something.
Oh.
Like say a Konosuba spinoff
God,
where they
yes.
go into real world Japan.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That could be an OVA. I say that because it'll probably last that long before Megami Cast Explosion. And Eris is like, yeah, no.
I found some dirty pics of nature's beauty, and that's all I can think of.
Yes. Aqua's public squirting show.
Alright. I think we should go ahead and cut this here.
Yep.
Okay.
So we will.
Alright.
Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
Cartnike.
thanks for having me,
Cartnike.
guys.
Hopefully we can do this again soon, and we're going to continue on with the rest of our series that we're going with.
Do it, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's probably getting kind of late over there anyway.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys later.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Have a good one.
Have a good night. So, continuing on with the series that we watched that Cartnike didn't. We're just going to go straight down alphabetical order with these ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
First off, we have Adam, the Beginning, of which we've only watched the first episode of. And the first episode was weird.
very.
Dr. Tema as head of the Future Gadget Lab. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I really am not sure what to make of this series yet, to be honest.
Nah, same here.
I've heard that the second episode's better, but we haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Our weekend was kind of crazy.
Yep.
But I think we're gonna give the second episode a try.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll at
second
least give it the 3-episode rule, I think.
Yeah.
Good old 3-episode try.
I mean, it does mean a lot to watch, but that is like the minimum to get a gauge, I think, on a series.
I do like the A106. The robot?
The robot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the robot.
Or was that A110?
A110, I think, is the... Oh.
No, the computer was A101.
One.
Oh.
I think the robot was A106. I'm not.
The robot. The fucking robot.
There's only one robot right now.
Yeah, the robot. I don't like all the other robots, but you really nailed it on the head when we talked about it in the discussion. It shows its age.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yep. So, giving it the 3-episode rule, but so far it didn't like really impress me that much.
Yeah, it wasn't a good first episode. Not as good as it could have been.
And the art style kind of bugs me.
I've always been bothered by Tezuka art styles. I mean, granted, I know it's old and it's based more on Disney characters, which is where Tezuka got a lot of his influence, but...
Well, actually, to be honest, it's just that one dude.
Just the noses. You see those schnozzes, the round noses on a lot of Tezuka's characters.
Yeah. So,
It's just, yeah, I'm not a fan.
yeah. Anyway, moving along, we have Clockwork Planet.
I'm a fan.
I do like Clockwork Planet.
I love Clockwork Planet.
Holy shit, those visuals.
I don't love it as much as I thought I would. First episode surprised me. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The 3D animation was fantastic. I only had minor gripes here and there. Second episode kind of waned.
So the initial shock kind of happened. You get all this, you see the visuals for the first time, you see combat for the first time, and it just mellows out into a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's what, I think episode 2 is more of what we can expect. I don't think we got to episode 3 yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. We'll get to it though.
Hoping for a little less conversation, a little more action.
Yeah.
Which I think we're going to get, considering where we left off.
I love Ryuzu.
Ryuzu.
The robot?
Yeah, the robot.
Yeah.
Ryuzu, your slave.
Oh my god. Oh, that name though.
Yeah.
That name though.
But yeah, so liking the series so far.
I want more. I want to see more of the abilities that the mechanics have.
Yeah.
Because the guy and the girl, they have a.
They have special talents that make them awesome. What was it? Clockworkers, clocksmiths,
Whatever.
watchmakers. I forget the actual like term for the profession of fixing clocks and watches, of fixing clockwork, or if there is one to begin with. But yeah, I would like to get into their backstories a bit too.
Yeah. So it's pretty much.
It's upper tier, middle of the road.
Yeah,
It is upper tier though.
Maybe just outside the top 5, or maybe breaks into the top 5 for one of us. I don't know. It's up there though. It's a good series.
Yep.
We'll continue it.
So moving on, we had Frame Arms Girl.
Slice of life. Stop it. This gave birth to one of the most used memes on our Discord chat. I love it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, go right. So cute.
I have to say, like, I've said it during our reactions to the series. It really reminds me of, like, a Saturday morning cartoon, or maybe even a cartoon for younger kids.
Yeah.
In that it's basically just two unrelated stories that are basically unrelated to the rest of the story, too.
And you also have tiny little creatures who find themselves in all sorts of comic mischief.
Yeah.
Ever since you started making that comparison, I've had the theme song from Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears stuck in my head. So thanks a lot, asshole. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Oh, God.
Suffer with me.
No. But yeah, that is pretty much my impression of the series.
I don't know. I still like it. We haven't watched episode 3, unfortunately.
Oh, we gotta refilm episode 2, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because we lost the footage. So
We'll figure out what we want to do with that. But I would really like to continue because it's something.
it's definitely different.
It's not the same as everything else on our list. It's not necessarily slice of life. It's not necessarily mecha action.
It's in some sort of gray area between those. You know, between like Mecha Musume, Slice of Life. But yeah, it is kind of like just a Saturday morning cartoon with mechanical girls.
Yeah, for me, it's just cute, waifu-sized, fun antics.
It's definitely not something to be taken seriously.
Not at all.
For me personally, it's definitely one of the lower tier series this season. Probably lower middle of the pack.
I'd have to say the same. I guess for me it would be a guilty pleasure, or at least the closest thing to it we have this season. Simply because, you know, I still like mecha and like the premise of the series enough. But the actual delivery, I don't know. It's not really grabbing me as much as I thought it would. I was expecting something like a little bit more serious, maybe a little bit more even adult-oriented in that kind of humor. Maybe like Dime a Dollar, but toned down on the fan service. But this is like Angelic Layer toned down on the story. So,
Pretty much. So, next up, we had...
Nope.
Noise?
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, we dropped that one. Yeah,
Insta drop.
dropped.
Insta drop.
I don't even think we did a discussion on it.
Nope.
Nope, we didn't release it.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't film a discussion on it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, basically, it's cringy shoujo at its worst.
Cringy shoujo at its worst. A lot of Or you could hear one girl screaming across a crowded gymnasium, yelling their asses off at a fucking rock concert. No, bullshit.
No. The one that got me was when she like lightly said something.
Mm-hmm.
When the
dude lightly said something outside the gymnasium while she was singing at full volume, and she heard him.
Fucking Bullshit.
Bull fucking shit.
I want to find the writer of this manga. I want to take a cactus and I want to smack him upside the head with it. You big prick.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no.
The only thing that I really liked about the series was Sayori Hayami's voice acting. But the series was really cringy, so I'm not going to watch any more of it.
Ouch.
I'm not even going
When even one of your favorite voice actors.
I can't even bring myself to watch it just for her performance.
Damn, that's sad.
So.
Yeah, she's like one of your all-time favorites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
It was bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
Anyway. Moving along, we had Get No Guardian.
Oh, God. Speaking of bad, well, it's not really... The premise is good. And that's the thing with Howliners. The premise is awesome, but the delivery is absolute shit.
Another one of Howliner's masterpieces.
Of shit.
Of shit.
Oh, God.
I was asked to watch... I was asked to catch up with it. I haven't done so yet. I plan to tonight. But as of right now, I don't know what the fuck's going on with it.
And that's the thing. That's the other thing with Howliners. The story just goes all over the place that you can't bring yourself to enjoy it. And I wanted to like this one. Actually, I wanted to like all the Howliners ones, but I just couldn't. The stories are that disconjointed, and Get No Guardian is no exception. So it wasn't an instant drop. I think we dropped it after episode 2.
Yeah.
So it lasted a bit longer than Fukumake shit, but. Fukumake feces. Called that from now on.
Anyway.
It's just, yeah. Ugh. That's a shame, too, because so much potential. It makes me mad.
I will get back to you guys on catching up, and probably we'll talk more about it when we get to the mid-season.
And actually, that is a disclaimer we've got to bring up as well. As always, just because we drop something from Anime Reaction doesn't mean we can't watch it on our own time or review it in our own time. So we still might have interest in it if one of us thinks it's good, and we'll get back to you with opinions on that.
Yep. So moving along, we had Grand Blue Fantasy, the animation.
Generic fantasy, the animation.
Yeah, pretty much actually.
It's
like very generic.
But
it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just meh.
So we've seen it before, but it's good.
Yeah, the animation is good.
Spectacular. A1. A good A1 animation. Love the world, love the premise, but I don't know.
The story so far up to where we're at is just okay.
No. Normal.
Normal, yeah.
Low C.
Missionary position sex.
You pass.
Except I see this one more often.
I even want to give this like a D. Like, you just barely pass. It kind of reminds me of my high school life, my high school grades. You just barely pass.
Now, if we were doing letter grades, I'd say a C. I'd say it's like C+. Still average, but on the technical front, it's fairly nice.
On the technical front, it's amazing. I love the arts. I love the animation.
Yeah, it's just the story is nothing special.
Everything else, you don't get any credits for.
Pretty much.
It doesn't stand out.
Yeah. Just doesn't stand out.
So it's middle of the road. I did give it a C or a 5 or 6.
I'm definitely gonna keep watching it, but I don't given the amount of series that we're reacting to this season. I don't know if I want to continue a reaction for it.
Well, I was under the impression at first that it was going to continue the sporadic release, but then you said after our episode 3 discussion that it's going to become more regular in the later part of the season.
Well, it's already regular.
It is already regular.
All right. Oh, so
they just released the first 2 episodes 3 months early.
Okay.
That's the only thing about it.
Oh my god.
That was the only irregular thing about it.
Okay.
But,
so yeah, I mean, it is so generic. We could drop it and not really miss out on much.
So
yeah, 3
I don't
episodes.
know. We're still weighing our options.
Speaking of weighing our options,
Hinako Note.
We're waiting our options.
We only watched the first episode of this so far, so we don't have a really great grasp of where it's at.
But oh my god, this Moe Bob is so sweet. I think I got diabetes just looking at it. Just boom.
I don't think that's where you got diabetes.
I actually don't have diabetes. I'm just fat.
I was making fun of you being fat. But yeah, I don't know. It's just Moe Blob. Moe Blob Slice of Life.
Generic fantasy, generic Moe Blob. I mean,
I find it, at least I find it more interesting than I did, like, Is the Order a Rabbit? Because that one just bored me.
That one was, like, so straight up slice of life. It didn't feel like there was, like, anything special about the premise. At least here they're trying to, like, you know, like, make a theater troupe. Is that the overreaching plot here?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just so happen to work in, like, the most trendiest of girly settings, like, bookstore and a cafe tied them together.
It really doesn't surprise me.
The situation just seems a bit forced.
Yeah.
Forced Moe Blob.
I don't know.
So, nah, I had a weird analogy, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, scrap it.
As this is the first podcast that we've done since talking about the things that we're watching, go ahead and say it. We're not watching ID Zero.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
We looked at PVs, looked at a little bit of the first episode, didn't like what we see.
And then also the fact that it's, like, it's hard to find a good release of it, too.
That's true.
So I don't want this to be one of those series that it's like, you know, it comes out like, you know, 5 days late every single time because
at that point,
subbing it.
Yeah, at that point it's not worth the effort.
This has happened in the past.
Kuromakuro. Which is a damn shame.
Ray Kenzon. We couldn't get to Ajin. We couldn't get to that because we couldn't get releases on time.
So I mean, it is a big thing.
It is a big thing. IDO, I don't think is a big thing. If it is, you know, feel free to correct us, but don't think we're going to
watch it later.
Other news: Little Witch Academia has been continuing. We are working on catching up.
Yeah.
At some point in time.
Yeah.
This may be relegated to summer. We will see how our schedule goes.
I'm still not sold on it at all.
Well, from where we got to it, we watched up to episode 6 of it. Yeah. It was really episodic, and I don't like that. I would expect some form of a story to be rearing its head at this point. So, I don't know.
The only reason, I'm pretty sure at this point, the only reason we haven't dropped it at all is because it's a trigger work. If it were any other studio, would have just said, you know what, fuck this series. It's too damn boring, drop it. But we're still waiting on that, like, trigger magic, I think.
So to speak.
Yeah. They got us with Stockholm Syndrome bad.
In more news, Kwanzi Gao show.
Now we got hyped on this. We got a lot of hype about this series after the season started. So
unfortunately, that is the case.
Yeah.
This came to our attention after we already started watching anime for this season.
Basically, after our schedule was more or less set.
And as we've stated, we are trying to cut down on anime to fit our schedule more. I'm currently watching it myself.
Oh.
I'm basically the only reason why I started watching it was so that I could contribute something whenever I go on Reaper's podcast.
I'm not 100% sold on it. I don't think that it could make good reactions at this point in time. We do not we have other things to attend to.
Life.
If we had seen it before the season started, we probably would have added it to the lineup. But since we didn't even really know about it until the second episode aired, so
that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So expect, I guess, individual opinions and reviews from the two of you.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not watching an episode to see what the fuss is about, but yeah.
In more news.
Sagrada Reset.
Shit was like watching fucking paint dry, and I think watching paint dry might be more exciting. Except for that last bit of the first episode. Do a flip.
So we're not gonna do any more reactions for Sagrada Reset. I think I'll probably keep watching it. See if it gets better.
Yeah, it was definitely too deep, too psychological. Like Boku Dakegai Nayamachi, like Occultic 9, Steins Gate, a lot of these supernatural, philosophical, or psychological series, you need all your attention. You can't just do quasi-comedic, reactions and riffing like we do and enjoy the series. You really need to think about it. Which, people like, but it just doesn't... It cramps our style. That's all.
Pretty much.
I mean...
That's something that doesn't cramp our style.
Sakura Quest. Finally, something positive. Sakura Quest. I like it. It's not like one of my favorite series or anything this season, but it's an original story from PA Works, and PA Works is pretty darn good at doing original stories.
It's still very much, though, Shirobako out in the boonies.
A lot of people say that it's more, what's that one series that they always bring up in chat? Mm-hmm. It's another one from PA Works. I can't remember the name of it. But they say it's more of that series than Shirobako. But, yeah, I mean, it's, basically...
Trying to think what that series would be.
Yeah, man, it's... For some reason, the title of it's just not coming to me.
But
Maybe
it's
I can look it up.
Cute. I mean, this is our slice of life anime for this season, more or less. It's,
like straight up slice of life.
Yeah, it's just fun. I enjoy it. It's not like completely. It's not like completely boring.
Hanasaku Iroha. That was the one.
Huh.
Hanasaku Iroha.
Okay. Lovable characters.
Yep.
Relatable characters, for sure.
Yes, definitely relatable characters.
Yeah, especially our main core here. Well, actually, some of the periphery characters, like the old man at the tourism board. Kind of crotchety, but good-hearted.
It has the series has a decent charm to it.
And very well animated as well.
Yeah.
And also the fancy cult Chupacabra. Oh my god, so much cringe in that commercial.
Yeah.
But no.
Anyway, so
charming, doesn't stand out too much, but still somewhat enjoyable.
Yep. So then next we had Seikaisuru Kato.
I'm very much a mixed bag on this because I love how original it is. I love the point of view it takes in the form of a government negotiator dealing with aliens. That's pretty nice.
Certainly interesting.
And the visuals, especially of the cube. Good God.
The cube is god tier.
The cube is like its own character, almost, with damn near perfect character design. And also our in the episode we're up to, the Mythbusters chick. Absolutely fun. And played by Rie Kumagiya, right?
Yep.
Oh, damn. There you go. But, that being said, so far it hasn't elicited the best of reactions and hasn't been well received compared to other series on our channel. So, that kind of puts me in a sort of kind of position.
Yeah. It's definitely something I want to keep watching.
I'm not sure if I want to react to it. I know I want to keep watching it.
Yeah, I could say I'm in the same boat. Just maybe subscribe from reactions, but maybe, watch a bit more. Because it is intriguing.
Yeah. Let's see. Then we had...
oh, boy.
Yeah, we did watch an episode of this. We didn't release it, and we're not going to release it. In fact, we deleted it. Because it was so weird. But Sekai no Yami Zukan, it's...
just printed as a manga.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to recreate the pulp horror comics of the 60s, do that. The medium, I think, just doesn't lend itself out to anime, especially the way they went about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it just wasn't good.
I wouldn't even call it an instant drop, just because the mediums just clash so much.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was actually it.
That's it.
We ended on that one?
We ended on that one. I could talk about what is it? Tsuki ga Kirei, but I actually haven't watched it yet. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I'm a little too busy. Maybe I'll do it tonight. But that's one that I'm watching. We're not reacting to.
Let's end on this palate cleanser of the girls of the Loki Familia.
Okay.
Oh, I actually think we skipped one too. Saikano.
Oh, we did.
We did.
Yes, we did. So Saikano.
So we don't end on the shit horror one.
Thank God. Saikano flat.
Saikano flat.
Like we said in the part with Cartnike, it's a second season. It's a continuation. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah, but since
I'm not quite as interested in it as I was, say, the first season when we were watching it, but it's still good.
Yeah,
and it's funny.
I actually think it's a better sequel because unlike Attack on Titan, it doesn't, as you put it, Zero, it doesn't roll along for as long. So less of the charm has worn off. And then there was episode 0, which is the traditional fan service episode of this series. Which I actually think is genius, so...
I actually, I was talking about how Sakura Quest was the slice of life for the season. But for me, like, Sakura Quest is the original, or the new series.
Oh.
Because slice of life of the season for me is Saikano.
Like best slice of life because you're familiar with it. It's great. And, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I mean, and we are getting new stuff with it. As we continue, we are getting more of Utaha. We are getting more of Iriri. We might get more of...
We're getting more of that rival faction. Was it like Rosa and Rose or something like that?
Yeah. We're probably going to get more of our other main characters. All 3 of them. Including the music girl, which we've only seen one in 1 or 2 episodes. But I think that, with what we just saw in episode 2. Yeah. And what we just saw in episode 2 with the introduction of the rival gang, this might turn out interesting.
It could turn out interesting, but it could also, if it goes wrong, could be an unnecessary conflict. As I said in the discussion for episode 2, if Saikano were a visual novel, it would be the main conflict of the Iriri route.
Yeah, probably.
But actually, yeah, I mean, this is one of the things I do like about this series. It is structured somewhat like a visual novel, where you have, these plot points that are tied to certain characters, like Utaha's script and, Mr. Ethical having to pick a version. And then, the rival game with Iriri's rival at the helm with the artwork on it. Yada yada. I wonder if there are going to be more events like that when we start to focus on, on Kato or on, I always forget his cousin's name, but on her perhaps.
Kato is best girl.
Kato is best girl. You're outnumbered, bitch.
Kato's best girl for Mr. Ethical. Utaha is my best girl.
That is fair enough.
I can recognize an OTP. At least the one that the author's going to push.
So anyway, you can't get out of it.
You know the question's coming. You know that they're going to want to know. They always want to know.
Well, too bad! Haha!
What's your top 5?
Nope. So my number 5, I think, is going to... I think it's going to be a tie, actually. A tie between Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 and Saikano Flat. And that's a very close tie. Like it's.
I'd imagine ties are close.
Yeah,
dead even.
That was dumb. No, I basically Boku no Hero Academia. It's because I know where that part of the story's going. I'm more excited for it, I think. But yeah, it was just too close for me to call, is what I meant to say. I'm actually very tired right now.
Fair enough.
Number 5.
Number 5 for me. I got a list here of, I'm trying to cut down on them, but probably Suka. I mean, out of everything that we've seen this season, making it top is really difficult for me. But you know, in the most recent episode that we watched, obviously the most recent episode came out today. We haven't gotten to it because we're doing this. But from what we've watched so far, I can't really tell what's going to happen, but I know to expect the feels. And I can already see the feels happening. And I love the little things that happen, the little fan service parts that aren't really fan service parts unless you really pay attention to them. The massage.
Yeah.
The troll. Literally troll. You know, just those little bits that you don't... If you focus on them too much, they're fan service. If you don't even pay attention to them, they're kind of just there.
So it's kind of like the cherry on top, like when I talk about the fan service in, say, High School DxD. I mean, you know, you could take it away and it's still pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry, I'm trying to prepare my list by going on live chart and skipping ones I know wouldn't even make my top 5.
Yeah.
If you held a gun to my head.
I'm trying to waste time for you.
All right. And I still have a lot. God damn it. I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too many. Shit. I still gotta get rid of 6. Okay. And after much deliberation, I'm sure. My number 5 is Saikano Flat. I mean, it's more of what I absolutely loved on the second series, of the original series, pardon me. Same charms, one of my favorite continuation series this season. Still maintains great visual and story quality that the first season had. And I'm actually really liking the development of the certain routes for the girls, and I hope that extends to the rest of the cast. So, yeah, Saikano Flat number 5 for me.
Interesting. My number 4 is a tie between Saikano Flat and Rokudenashi Majitsu Koshi to Akashic Records.
Okay.
Did I get it that time? Closer?
Close.
So close.
So close. I've tried here. But yeah, those two, I mean, that's pretty much Saikano, exactly what you said. It's probably one of my favorite, you know, continuations. I think it's better than Boku no Hero. I think it's better than Attack on Titan. Just the way that they do things and kind of just move along a little bit better.
Okay.
And then I can't decide from Akashic Records because I just love stories like that.
Oddly enough, I was heavily debating between Saikano and Akashic Records for my number 5. Yeah, oh my god, it was agonizing. I was like, I have to cut one. I have to. I can't just tie.
Akashic Records would probably be my number 6.
Yeah. So close.
Yeah.
Like 5.5.
Yeah. So my number 4 was Suka. Obviously, we've seen a little bit less of it than we have of the other series, but from what we've seen, what we've seen so far, I like how it's going.
All right. good enough. My number 4 is Recreators. I absolutely love the concept here of media coming to life and the possibility of being able to recreate this media and actually have the results manifest themselves in the real world. That's pretty damn cool. And also, really very much like the characters. In my opinion, Meteora is best girl. The first scene you see her, she summons a bunch of javelin missiles. Come on now. But yeah, I cannot wait to meet the rest of the cast and to see them fight each other. You know, it's like a modern day non-magic Fate Stay Night. So, damn, how cool is that?
Do you want to start off number 3 or do you want me?
Number 3. My number 3 is Recreators. I think that is a very good series, and I mean, my top 5 is chock full of really good series.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. I don't like it quite as much as I like my top 2. So. But yeah, like you said, the story idea is really, really interesting. I'm really interested to see where it goes.
My number 3 is Zero Kara Hajimeru Maho no Sho.
Oh, okay.
I loved Spice and Wolf. It was one of my favorite series back when I first got Netflix, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god.
Yes, and goddamn, I want Horo in my wagon.
And I want more of Spice and Wolf. Unfortunately, I can't get more of that yet.
Yes.
Please. But this is a fantastic substitute. Probably is going to make me want Zero a lot more than Horo. Although Silver Hair Mage versus Redhead
Harvest Goddess
with cat ear, with fox ears and tail. Those two are very difficult to choose from.
I would probably like Horo because she likes to spend a lot more time naked.
I don't know.
Well,
Are you sure
Zero has
about that?
Zero has no shame either. That is a tough call.
That is a really, really tough call.
Why not both?
Your number 3?
My number 3, Boku no Hero Academia, 2nd season. Another great continuation, and I absolutely love this series. I mean, it has the cheese and the bright colors of American comics, but with that, with the grittiness and that just real world sense you get in an anime story. I mean, it's like a slightly more mature version of the original Teen Titans series. Back when it was good, fuck Teen Titans Go up the ass with a soldering iron, because that shit is lame.
So true.
So true. But it's just, even though we are kind of in that typical shonen story arc right now, I just think the uniqueness of the story and its parallels to another medium I'm familiar with, I wouldn't say necessarily make up for the shonen jumpiness, if you can call it that. I think it enhances it. And it's not something I don't get to say often, but this is a typical Shonen Jump story that I still appreciate this deep in. So that definitely deserves a bit of merit. And that's why it's my number 3.
So, number 2. My number 2 is Zero Kara Hajimeru Maho no Sho. I talked about it in the most recent episode of it, but I really like the kind of traveling stories. Stories following a group that's traveling. So I really like where it's at right now.
Epic journey through a fantastic land.
Yep.
Okay.
And Zero is adorable.
Zero is absolutely adorable.
I want Zero to sleep on my belly.
Number 2?
Before I continue this one, this is my top 3 are 99.9998 and
Repeating
99.9999 and
add an extra 9.
99.999999. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how this is going. They're so close.
Nanoscopic.
But I can only pick out the tiniest of little details to split them up.
Nanoscopic
it's hard
is
to
the
choose.
margin between these series.
But number 2, Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul.
Uh-huh.
Because Bahamut.
We all love the original series. Holy shit.
We've almost made a whole new rating system for Bahamut.
Bahamut level.
It's like Bahamut level animation, and the story is so fresh and new from anything else that we've seen.
That and the fact that they took, very little in way of inspiration for a story and just crafted this.
I mean, you gotta think that this comes from a story that you put 5 cards, literally 5 cards, add up their attacks, and beat them against your opponent's 5 cards attacks.
A simplistic card game.
You have, and then you have basic, like this card increases your attack more. This card increases their attack. That's it.
Yeah, it would be the equivalent of turning the game of Battleship into something as good as, even remotely good as Conclave. But they knocked it out of the park even further with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why, Mappa. Just keep going, man. Mappa.
Okay. Cool. My number 2 is also the Grimoire of Zero. Again, same reason as you, Rizzo. I do like that fantasy, that epic journey feel. Reminds me a lot of Lord of the Rings. Reminds me a lot of Spice and Wolf. And Utwari Ramono, a little bit of Utwari in the comment that we saw. I love that too. It's like all that combined. And all the characters, even to a degree, even Albus, because I think he's a good foil for the Mercenary in Zero. Pretty likable. Even the Wolf villain isn't too bad either. For being a villain.
That villain of the episode?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll come back eventually, but that's sort of Gary Oak kind of way. But yeah, my God, Zero's adorable.
Drum roll.
Number ones,
I don't think anybody's surprised by this. It's Shingeki no Bahamut. It's just too fucking good.
Well, you already said Shingeki no Bahamut Zero.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure, therefore, I can guess your number 1 without even looking at your screen, which is right in front of me.
My number 1 is Recreators. I mean, you guys put it a little bit lower, but I think that's just because I'm getting a lot more enjoyment than you two are.
I think that's what it really does boil down to.
I am eating up every little morsel of Recreators that I can find.
Yeah, whereas you do that, the big thing for me is the story premise.
Yeah.
But if you're enjoying it entirely.
Story premise is fantastic. Yeah. I love it. Characters, every little bit, I just love it. I mean, even going so far deep into saying you can't just simply rewrite something. You can't just simply revise something. You had to go deeper. You had to do more. You had to do so much more.
So maybe perhaps the physical manifestation of these characters is a bit of a metaphor for, the act of creating something itself.
And then them, in episode 2 with the magical girl, looking around and just, oh my god. This is...
looking around and being horrified at the destruction that she's wrought.
Yeah.
This is not supposed to happen this way.
And then still trying to get the courage up to
keep fighting.
I gotta keep pushing. And then just, I want so much more from this. I feel I may end up being disappointed at the end of it. I may, but as of right now, I want more.
Okay.
This is probably going to be one of the animes that I love so much that I will go buy anything that I can get my hands on. I want the soundtracks, I want the Blu-rays, I want the mangas when they come out, I want figurines, yes.
Be buried in merch.
I want it all.
I want it all. I want it all. I want it now.
It's like,
Okay, you're number one.
My number
Let me
one.
cut him off before he keeps talking anymore.
Oh yeah, my number one, Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul. Oh my God! Sequel-itis? No such thing, man. No such thing with this.
Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis was one of my favorite anime that I've ever watched. And I mean, that's saying something pretty incredible.
Because there are a lot of, okay, I said it earlier in the season, like a couple weeks ago, or I think when we did the preseason podcast, fantasy action is back, bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, it languished for a time. Like, the only, like, quasi-good one out there was Berserk, and the animation of that one was grating. That's why we dropped it. But it's back with a fucking vengeance this season. The genre's on fire, and, well, Nina and Bahamut are the ones spitting the flame.
I mean,
It's just magnificent.
when you look at our top 5 here, I mean, we pretty much got the same ones. I think you had a straggler with 5 and 6. You had a.
I had
No, actually, all of mine, I believe you guys at least had one of them.
Yeah.
At least one of you guys had on your list as well.
I mean, we know that we are slightly like-minded. We do have similar tastes, but we still have different tastes.
Yeah.
But when you look at this season and then you look at our top 5, this top 5 is probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
I agree. This was incredibly tough to... Actually, you're not going to see it in the footage, but I spent like a good 10 minutes trying to decide. And that was rushed. But a good load of...
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, could have. Should have.
But like Akashic Records, Saikano,
I was
Recreators.
I was just remarking on how much like awesome fantasy there is. You know, Recreators, Gromar of Zero, Bahamut.
Yeah, like my top.
Suka was up there. Akashic Records. Alice Tozoroku, just loaded.
Yeah, and
this is
then
loaded with great fantasy.
that doesn't include Sword Oratoria, which
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
Sword Oratoria just didn't quite make my top 5 because I am a little disappointed with how it's gone.
It didn't live up to the potential. It didn't live up to my initial expectations. That's why it's not there. I was expecting a story to focus on eyes, not someone who wants the V.
Yeah. Yeah, Shingeki no Kyojin is very good. I like Sakura Quest a lot. Akashic Records, I did say barely didn't make my top 5.
I very much like this series, but it barely did make my top 5 either.
Clockwork Planet.
Noise.
yeah, Clockwork Planet.
Clockwork Planet, oh my god.
That's probably my number 6. Well, no. That and Alice Tozoroku are going to have to fight for that one.
Alice
6 or 7
Tozoroku is really good.
But still very upper tier.
I personally really like Aromanga Sensei, but
I like it
that's
enough.
just me.
I like it enough, but just the fantasy action series are just so damn good this season. Yep. Welcome back. Well, you know, this season, let's welcome that genre back.
Okay. I think we should go ahead and wrap it up here.
Do let's. Easy boy, easy. Down boy.
But yeah, I think it's going to do it for this time. I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo.
See you next time.